Hey, so welcome along to a new episode. We're going to be talking about the Transformers Season 3, Episode 6, I want to say. No, Episode 7, Chaos, this is titled. Fantastic episode. And you would be forgiven at the beginning of this episode that it was going to be one of these not so exciting episodes, but very, very good. There's a great little storyline in here concerning Cup and his regret for the past. Love these types of episodes, whether it be an animated show that gets here, live action, or movie, whatever it may be. This is the type of storyline that I like. This sort of redemption arc, in a way, very swiftly put in this episode. It begins near the planet of Goo. There's this little alien called Skoxoid that is firing, has this gun, and he's like firing these like crystals out of it, and it's destroying absolutely everything. Very, very destructive. And blast off. One of the Combaticons comes up on him. This debris field is Decepticon territory, more or less, and he corners this little guy, but gets interested in this weapon. And the little alien tells him, everything about the weapon. Uh, it's very, very strong and very, very difficult to get the crystals that the gun uses to destroy things, but he knows where to get them at. And he's trying to sell the thing to blast off, of course, but him being the Decepticon that he is, I'm going to take it and let you live, sort of a thing. So we cut over to Cybertron. Cup's doing his usual thing. He's telling this story to everybody. That's Cup's thing with the war stories and whatnot, about the time he was fighting the Ikiak. And you heard that word in Transformers the movie as well. You get to see what it is, and that's like a dinosaur like sort of beast thing. He's telling the story to Blur and Wheelie. Grimlock is in there as well, and becoming a major, major part of season 3. Apart from the other Dinobots, that's the big change here for Grimlock in season 3, as he's not really the team player with the Dinobots in the series. They are there, but they're more in the background than what they ever were prior to this. It was usually all the Dinobots together, but Grimlock, very, very important character to the kids and that there. They're really pushing him out for this third series. Again, Transformers was always like a half-hour toy commercial for the toy line, so yeah, he's very much front and centre in this episode, but it is essentially Cup's story in this one. So he's telling them about this story. He's fighting against the Ekiak on the planet Dread, and he manages to defeat him by getting him to step into quick mud, I want to say, and that sinks down. Of course, you don't get to see it dying and whatnot, but he is then captured by these guards on this planet, and he's put to work in the mines to mine death crystals that come from the creature Chaos. That's like they didn't be specific about it, but where Chaos is, these death crystals are there too, and whether it be he's a devastating creature, whether it be excrement from him or not is entirely left up to your own interpretation in this. But they're in this underground mine. They're mining out these crystals, and Cup's telling the story, and you hear Chaos coming, and Cup, as soon as Chaos comes to the forefront of this story because of Grimlock, he heard that Chaos lives in this planet, the creature Chaos. I want to know more about him. And Cup, and the guy that was always sharing war stories and everything that he's done, gets very defensive about the creature called Chaos, and he just doesn't want to talk about it, doesn't want to hear that name, sort of a deal. But we get into the past story of him, where he was captured, and put to work in these mines. And at one point, when the creature Chaos came towards the workers. Cup managed to escape, but he had the opportunity to save the rest of the robots that were already enslaved there and get them to freedom. But out of sheer fear, he freaked out and ran away, left these guys to their fate, essentially. So, yes, he's holding a lot of guilt for his past transgressions in this episode. They do eventually have to go to the planet where this creature lives. As at the beginning of the episode, you seen this little alien creature with a gun shooting these death crystals out of it and destroying things. So Rakgar from the planet of junk calls up the Autobots, tells them what's going on. There's damage on a major scale to different things about here. They want to investigate it. So the Autobots, Cup, Blurred, Grimlock, Wheelie, meet up with Rakgar. Off they go to investigate this sort of thing. We cut over to Galvatron. He shows up, and Blastoff has brought him this blaster of the Death Crystals. So Galvatron, being the psychopath that he is in this series, decides to build this huge cannon on the planet where chaos lives, and he's going to charge it up with enough of these crystals to actually obliterate the whole of Cybertron and become the most famous Decepticon in history for destroying the entire planet. So the majority of the episode, as far as he's concerned, is getting this gun up and going. And the Autobots get there, work out what's going on, and they have a confrontation with the Predacons. So obviously if they're there, the Decepticons are there, so they know they have to take them out of commission as well. But Grimlock also puts the idea across the Cup that, if we're going to do this, we're going to have to destroy chaos as well. If there's no chaos, there's no more Death Crystals. So Cup's left in that position of, what am I going to do? Am I going to face my fear, or am I going to keep running here? So as the fight goes on between the Autobots and the Decepticons, Cup manages to get down into the mines and confronts Chaos and tells him that there's an enemy, a monster out here far stronger than you ever will be, Chaos. Come on and fight it and whatever, and tries to bring him out. In the course of doing that, he comes across all the robot prisoners that he had left behind originally the first time he was there. Now, there's no scale of how much time passed between Cup leaving these guys and coming back for them, but he does manage to rescue them. There seems to be a great deal of time here. Like he does say a couple of times throughout the episode, in memories, how long ago something would happen. So you're starting to see that there's a huge time that Cup has existed, and so you don't know the exact amount of time that happened between him running through fear and coming back and saving these guys, but he manages to release them at the end of the episode, and manages to get out, distracts Galvatron and the Decepticons just long enough to turn the Death Crystal weapon onto Chaos and takes him out with his own Death Crystals. And at the end of the episode, we close out of Cup going into yet another little war story as they're heading back to Cybertron. And of course, most of the Autobots are like, oh, not again, not another story. But of course, our Grimlock pipes up as like, quiet, I want to hear the war story. Just as you've seen in Transformers the movie, it's all about the stories for Grimlock. So great little episode. As I said at the beginning, this is the sort of storyline that I like. You get a bit of backstory to a character and something bad that happened in their past and their efforts to make up for the past wrongdoings that they did in their personal life, and coming to a place where they can put that sort of thing behind them and move on with a clear conscience, more or less. So it's a great, great little episode. And again, if at the beginning of this one you're thinking to yourself, this might not be a good idea, you tend to get the feeling at the beginning of an episode, whenever you're watching anything, this might be the dud in the series so far. Definitely not. Very much enjoyed this one. So I'm looking forward to the next Transformers review, and it's going to be a hard one. So come back in a couple of episodes' time for the next Transformers review.